Hi all and welcome to this Diablo 4 open beta Druid overview. My plan here is to go through the Druid class, how I leveled it up, the skills and passive I've used, and the certain builds I'm going to be looking at. This video is a long video. It has been split up into chapters for your ease. I'm doing a Werewolf build, a Werebear build, and then I'll do a spell variant build. I'm not going to do any major gameplay such as a full run of a dungeon because that will make this video ridiculously long, and the gear will not be fully optimized because again that will take a long time for me to deal with, and this is only a 2-day event. I leveled the character following the main quest line by just literally using the tab button and following the main quest line. I completed the main quest line and some side quests and hit level 17. After I did that, I went through all of the area, completed all of the side quests I came across, did a few dungeons that required the side quests, and completed all of the quests I could potentially do. I have since found another side quest I need to do in Kovashad, and I think there's one more down here in Yelsini, and then it's just dungeon farming, which I'm not overly fond of because this is only the beta on limited time. So that's how I leveled the character. I know there's a faster way of doing it by literally spamming and resetting dungeons, but I'm more of a quest person and that's how I did it on this occasion. How am I going to do it once the game goes live? We don't know. We'll have to see what Blizzard change for D4 in the coming months. Now we'll go into the builds. So the build we have on screen is a Druid focusing on Werewolf form. Let's have a look at the abilities. Go back to the beginning. So I started off by taking Claw. I've got 2 points I've unlocked throughout the account. So as soon as I created the character, I was able to go Claw and then Enhanced Claw. After that I came down and took Shred, and then I went into Enhanced Shred, Primal Shred. I think I then needed more points to come down here, so Enhanced Claw and Wild Claw, and unfortunately that's where I forget because I was just getting the points as and where required. So the main abilities I'm using is Claw, which is rank 3 out of 5. I've just put enough points in there to get the other travel nodes out, and that is our main spirit generator. Once we've got enough spirit, we then shift into Shred, again rank 5, just to get the travel points unlocked. We've got Enhanced Shred and we've got Primal Shred. Once the travel nodes were opened up, I took Blood Howl, and then Enhanced Blood Howl and Innate Blood Howl to get that spirit. I did take Preserving Blood Howl first, but actually Innate Blood Howl is a lot better. I do have an item that's given me +1 to this ability, so I have put another point in there for a travel node, although that travel node would possibly been better spent putting it in our Claw. Coming down to the next one, we initially went with Ravens as a 1 point. They're horrible, don't use them. The damage they do, and without the active ability is static, it doesn't follow you, and so as soon as the boss moves out of the area, it's absolutely bad. Don't take Ravens at its current iteration. So I went again. I don't like poison builds, so I didn't even try with Vine Creeper. So I then took the Wolves, which are absolutely amazing. We then took Enhanced Wolf Pack, and then we took Ferocious Wolf Pack to get that Fortify. I did have it on Brutal Wolf Pack as well, but it's not that compared to having the Fortify. Brutal Wolf Pack isn't worth it. Coming down from there, we went into Rabies. Rabies is awesome. It does the bite. Unfortunately, most of the enemies in Act 1 are immune to the poison. I haven't bothered to change it because the actual damage it still does is amazing. We went then down into enhanced rabies and then into savage rabies. There are a few monsters in Act 1 that aren't immune to rabies, to poison, so I still think this is the best one out of the ones that are available. Considering we are a werewolf, the only other possible one we could have taken is Hurricane, but I'll save that, or Boulder maybe, but I'll save that for the spell build I'm going to try later on in this video. From there we put in all our travel nodes to open up our ultimate, and we did go with Lacerate, Prime Lacerate and then Supreme Lacerate, which puts us up to level 25 with 2 points from the account. So that's all our abilities. Let's have a look at our gear. Our gear isn't great, it's just what I've picked up through my adventures. I do have a couple of items that are upgrades for the character, but as I said, I want to do 2 other builds on this character, so the gear may be changing. I haven't invested in it. As you can see, I've still got nearly max obols outstanding, and I've got a fair bit of gold if I wanted to min-max this character, which I may do after I've finished this video. So for the gear on the Werewolf build, we've got this helm with a upgraded ruby for 5.5 max life. We found this unique, which is absolutely really good. It is low item power. I haven't upgraded it either, but that 12.5% damage reduction while shapeshifting to werewolf really comes in handy. We've got this as well, Eventual Class Retribution. Again, it is a low item power, and I haven't upgraded it, and it's got 2 ranks of items on there that I didn't use, but that stun was amazing. That allowed us to then shred our enemies while they were unable to move, and it proved very, very useful. This is just a rare I've picked up. Same with the boots. This actually came from obol gambling. I hit max obols and needed to spend some, so I spent some, and this is what popped out. I have actually gone for a 2-handed weapon rather than 1-handed and totem. For this particular build, the attack speed in the werewolf form is quite large, so being slowed down by a 2-handed weapon wasn't a problem. Also, this has got a really nice legendary power. There is a rare upgrade which I want to add this legendary power to, but again I'll wait until I finish this video, and then I may end up min-maxing the character and provide a video on a min-maxed version of this character. As for the amulet, again we picked this up off the floor. +1 defensive skills, +1 companion skills, minus spirit cost reduction, and then that bubble effect, which is amazing. I know it's low ball rolled, but it still helps. We've got this ring here, which I picked up off the floor again. Just a standard inner calm ring. And then we have this one as well. Now, although rabies, the poison cannot affect and do any damage, it is still classed as a damage over time effect. And I was getting quite a lot of resource. I am hoping this was interacting with the rabies, even though it kept on popping up saying immune. So that's all the gear, that's the skills. Let's show you some gameplay. Just leave the Bear Tribe Refuge. We'll go out into the world and we'll just go up here. So essentially all we're doing is using our claw to generate the spirit when we find something to hit, obviously. There we go. So there we go. We use our spirit generator, the walls attack, there goes a bubble, and then we just shred. I'm going to turn that noise effect down because that is quite loud. Effects volume, let's turn that down. While we're at it, let's turn the music down a little bit. And we'll turn the ambient volume down a bit as well. There we go. That should be a lot better on our ears. Alright, I'm not going to loot anything. I don't need any loot. I'm just looking for some... Oh, here we go. Alright, so here we go. This is Lacerate in operation. There we go. It does really nice when there's one target. The offerings there you saw are part of the Druid quest line. You can only hold 100 of them in a stack. It is part of the quest line, but again, much like the Barbarian, Druids can't actually do their quest. So you can't do anything about it. You still have to pick them up. Well, you could not pick them up. I've just got them sat down there. They're not bothering me. It just annoys me if there's things on the floor. Let's go somewhere. Right, there's our howl, and then our wolves can jump and kill stuff while you're busy killing something else. And the next one we'll do is rabies, so we'll get all these undead, which will be immune. There we go. And then you have to put up with the immune. Oh, there we go. Oh, I might as well kill this. Oh, this should be gonna give us a good challenge. Shame Lacerate isn't on cooldown. I'm getting a bit of lag at the moment. There we go. Right, let's pop back. Oh, go away. Give me somewhere I can just portal to town, or am I going to have to run? Oh, there's a Necromancer. A lot of people doing Necromancer as their first character. Right, so that is the Druid in the Werewolf. I'll respec and do some testing as Werebear, and I'll add it on as the next section. After that, we'll look into a Spellcaster Druid as well. On to our next build, which is the Druid concentrating on the Werebear form. What I've done is I just refunded all the points on the level 25 Druid I already had, and then just put points into what I thought would be good for a Werebear form. So that's what I did. I've tried it, I've played with it, I've tested a few different things out, and we've ended up with this version of the Werebear build. In my opinion, this is worse than the Werewolf. It is slower, a lot slower. It does a little bit more damage from what I can see, but it is a lot slower. This would be what I would call your stereotypical party tank character. It's got a lot of things in there that could really help out a party to tank bosses. It's got a lot of defenses, and with the right gear you could stack fortify and you wouldn't have a problem. So let's go through how I built this character, starting with the ability points. Now, much like the Werewolf, I can't remember in which order I stacked them, so we'll just go through all the points that we spent. I have got 2 points across the character, across the account, so I've got enough points to unlock the ultimate. So we've took Maul, which shifts us into Werebear form, 3 points in that. We took Enhanced Maul to get Fortify, and then we took Fierce Maul, which increases the range and radius of Maul by 30%. I did try Wild Maul, but then you're knocking things down, and it's only a 10% chance. I'd rather just take this, which does increase range and radius, which means you're hopefully getting more spirit. It seems to work out. We've took 5 points in Pulverize, which is our main spirit spender. We then took Enhanced Pulverize, of course. I looked at Raging Pulverize, but you need to overpower, and if you're not stacking overpower, then you're not going to get the stuns. So I went with the easier option of having Pulverize deal 20% reduced damage for 4 seconds from enemies being hit by it. Down into the next one, we did take Debilitating Roar. I've got an item that's giving me +1 rank to that, so it's only 1 point in that. Took an Enhanced Debilitating Roar, so we get Fortify, and then we also took Preserving Debilitating Roar for the heal. Down into the next one, we stuck with the wolves because, again, like I said, in Act 1 of the beta, poison is, most things are immune to poison, so Vine Creeper is pointless, and ravens are static, when you want to activate them, so no. Wolves are the way to go. So we've got wolves, enhanced wolf pack, and then again ferocious wolf pack to give us some more fortify. Down we go. We then took trample, 3 points in trample, enhanced trample, and then we took casting trample gives us 20 spirit, because as soon as you finish your trample you're then back into your form and you've got enough spirit to start mauling, pulverizing things. And then we're down into our ultimate skill, and we took Grizzly Rage, chipped this into an unstoppable dire werebear for 10 seconds, getting damage and damage reduction. We then took Prime Grizzly Rage, and we also then took Supreme Grizzly Rage. I didn't look at the other ones. Petrify could be okay, but I haven't tested it. I'll be testing that in the Spellcaster one. So that's how we spent our ability points. I did spend some of the O-balls that I'd earned running around as a werewolf, about 300-ish I think. I put the weapon I had in my stash on the character as well, because the unique weapon had no effect on this character. I think the helm is the same, so we've got that there with the 5.5% max life gem. We've got a chest with another 5.5% max life gem in it. We still kept the same gloves. I did get another gloves that turned our Grizzly Rage into a werewolf, but that just seemed wrong. It I don't know, it was weird going from a bear into a werewolf, but it was nice, don't get me wrong. It was faster and a completely different pace to the slower of the werebear, but it just felt wrong. So we went back to these gloves of retribution. We got a new pair of pants, which gave us 30.35% increased armor for 4 seconds when we deal any form of damage. It's also got a +1 rank of trample on there, which is awesome. Got these boots, and then this is the weapon we had in our stash. It's about 80 DPS better than the one we had, but the other one had a legendary power for werewolves. This one's also got double socket, so we've just put in there 2 basic skill damage additional gems. Jewelry has remained the same. We've got this one, the bubble. We've got this one, which is the 8% increased damage inner calm, basically, as you can see here. Gives you more damage when you're standing still. And then this one, which is dodge chart versus enemy by affected by damage over time effects, which is completely pointless to us because this particular build doesn't do any damage over time. We've also got at pulverize, 10 stacks will overpower, so there is that as well. How does it feel to play? As I said earlier in this review, it is a lot slower than the werewolf form, but it does do a ton more damage. In my opinion, if you want fast and agile, you go for the werewolf. If you want some stopping power, then you go for the werebear. Again, as I said, the werebear is ridiculously slow, and unlike the werewolf, you have nothing really to do with ranged other than your trample, which does have a cooldown. So let's generate some spirit. There's that, and then we pulverize. Slaps the ground a couple of times. Here we go with the trample. And then we'll go into the grizzly form. So you end up with this massive great big bear. You don't get trample in this one though as well, which is a bit odd. There's the roar, and then we're out. So it's not that long. It's only, like I said, about 10 seconds I think. And as I said, we've got the wolves, which jump attack back into the pulverize. So there you have it. That is the werebear. I did kill this. There was a large group of undead here, skeletons and wraith, and a couple of elites. I almost died 3 times doing this. I don't think I'd have had that problem on the Werewolf build, simply because of the life gain. This one kind of relies on you having Fortify up and then just rotating through your skills until they're on cooldown. But because there were so many mobs, I couldn't even get my inner calm off. So I went through about 4 potions, just trying to stay alive from that bunch of ads. And you constantly get that because the pulverizer is quite an expensive skill. There we go. So there you have it. That's my version of the Werebear. As I said in the Werewolf, I'm not going to take it into a dungeon because running a complete dungeon would take a long time. With all 3 of these builds I'm hoping to get through. Hopefully this small portion of the review for this Werebear form has helped you make a decision. And I'll see you in the next portion of the video when we do a spellcaster druid. And on to the third and final druid variant build that I'll be doing in this video. I've chosen to go for a wind spellcaster on the druid. All I did was refund all my ability points from the Werebear form you saw earlier in the video and then respend them. So I've got 2 points across my account for progress through the closed beta last weekend. So I've got those points as well. So we'll go through the ability points, we'll go through the core skills, and then we'll go through the play. I've tested this build a couple of times now. I've just finished doing an event on the way to doing this Sight to Madness quest. It's the last side quest I have, or I can find in this beta. So I'm on my way to do that. Found an event, did the event, and now here we are recording this particular section. So first of all, let's do the abilities. I'll just scroll out, go to the very beginning. So we start with our spirit generator, which is 1 point in wind shear. We took enhanced wind shear and then fierce wind shear. We put 1 point in tornado, then we put enhanced in tornado and then raging tornado. We did try primal tornado. I mean, I know it's slowed, but the vulnerability chance works well on elites, so we switched out to that one after testing. We used, when we needed travel points, we came up and put them in tornado, and as you can see, I've got an item giving me +1 as well, so our tornado is rank 6. Coming down to the next stage, we put 1 point into cyclone armor plus the 1 from gear. We then took enhanced cyclone armor and then preserving cyclone armor. Now, I haven't had to use the activated ability on cyclone armor. I'm using it for the passive, which as you can see is 21.8% non-physical damage reduction. Onward we go. We've got our trusty wolves again because it's better than the other 2 options. So wolves with enhanced wolf pack and ferocious wolf pack. This is, unless you're tanking for a party, and then you would probably take ravens. This is the best option in beta. Possibly when we get full access to the game, move on and there's not so many poison immune enemies, Vine Creeper might be an option. But at current information, always take wolves unless you're in a party tanking, and then take ravens. Down for hurricane, 1 point into there, enhanced hurricane and then savage hurricane. And then any travel nodes is into hurricane after we've maxed out our tornado. From there, and all those points add up to our ultimate, so we've managed to unlock our ultimate. And because we got those 2 points from doing all the things in the closed beta last week, we were able to fully unlock our ultimate skill. So we took cataclysmic, and then we've taken prime cataclysm and supreme cataclysm. After all the testing I've done today on the druid, this is by far my favourite build. I just love it, and this is I'm going to be playing this now for the rest of the weekend. I'm not going to bother going back to sorcerer. From what I've heard and read, there are some bugs that made it quite powerful, and Zork has been covered profusely by a lot of content creators. Equally the same with the Necromancer, that has been covered profusely by a lot of content creators as well. Most of them are live playing that as their main or first character. I've chosen to do Druid, so I'm not likely to cover Necromancer. I may play one and speed level it in dungeons to get it to level 25 just to play with the Necromancer, but I'm going to be spending most of my materials on this particular Druid variant and see how far I can push it, and then I might do a video on this particular build and all the gear min-maxed as much as I can. So as I said, we're on our way to do this side quest and show you this particular build variant. I used all my spirit, so we've got to start off with some spirit generation first from Windshear. It's a long range targeted spell. I haven't done gear. Well, let's go for safe place. Right, gear is the same helm and chest armor I've used on the other two builds, the Werebear and Werewolf. Same with the gloves, they haven't changed either. They're back to the distant enemies have 15% chance to be stunned. We've got this, which was in our stash, 0.35% increased armor for 4 seconds when you deal any form of damage, stacking up to 35%. These were also in our stash. When you hit a crowd control enemy, there's up to 50% chance for that crowd control effect to spread to another enemy. We've switched off the we switched from a two-handed weapon to a one-handed weapon and totem. I picked this up while leveling. Tornado will seek up to 3 targets. And then the totem, which we got from the last of our obel expenditure, gives us core skills dealing additional damage for each companion. So 6.5 times the 2 wolves gives us 13% more damage for our Windshear. Jewelry, we've still got the bubble amulet. We're still using the inner calm ring, and we've using this now that we had in our stash. 20% chance for dealing lightning damage to overload the target for 3 seconds, causing any direct damage you deal to them to pulse 168 additional damage to surrounding enemies. And that comes from our Cataclysm, because our Cataclysm is lightning. Everything else is physical. Okay, so after that little break of looking at gear and me taking a drink, we will continue on with this quest. I don't know how far we'll get in the quest. I just want to show this particular variant build of. Oh, there we go. Rubber banding. I hate that. It's the worst part of the beta. Oh, we've got an event coming up. Oh, there's a person on a horse. Cool. Let's go into this event. Oh, we've got a duck. Okay, so we've got. Oh, is this the new camp? Alright. Oh, we're stunned. Let's come off. Get the hurricane going. So I'm wind shearing, and as soon as I get enough, because it's an elite, we're spamming tornado on that elite. There we go. There's the vulnerability, which is nice. Get another tornado down. That's it. So hurricane is cast on cooldown. As soon as it comes off cooldown, we're spamming that, and I should be spamming my wolves as well. Just haven't got around to it. And they'll just jump around, attack things on cooldown, send our tornadoes out. I'm going to wait for near the end of this event. I'm assuming there's some kind of big boss we're going to have to deal with, at which point we'll hit the Cataclysm button, and you'll be able to see that go off as well. Not sure how many, because I'm choosing to min-max this character, I don't know how many resources I'm going to need. So, best off collecting everything. I'm not going to kick off Hurricane yet. Need to find out what the rest of these enemies are. There's one here. Send some tornadoes after it. There we go. Oh, that was the wrong button. What I should do is put, I'll change my skills in a minute if I get out of combat for a second. Right, what I want is, what do I want? I want you there. I can't change it like that. Okay, we'll change it like this then. We want Cyclone Army there. That's it. Because we're never going to use it. Very rarely are we going to use that. Right, let's generate some spirit from this little wolfie. That's it. There's that one. So we activate Hurricane, get some tornadoes going. Get the walls on them as well. Boom, dead. Oh. I thought there'd be something bigger than that. Oh well, my bad. I will show you Cataclysm, don't worry. Don't worry, we'll all get there. Which means I have to test the build a bit longer. This variant is already longer than the last two. Oh dear. Oh, this is actually a dungeon quest. Oh, we're not going to go in the dungeon. Let's find a relatively large pack of mobs, or if we can find another event. Oh, come on, let's do it now. There we go. There's Cataclysm. Boom. That's what Cataclysm like, and it does a ton of damage. Absolute ton. It does have a lengthy cooldown, 75.6 seconds. I do have some cooldown modification on my gear as well, so that would be something possibly to chase after, although this is kind of your big ultimate nuke button for those end of dungeon bosses or big side quest bosses. So that's it. That's the 3 builds I'm going to be focusing on the Druid. Off to the outro. So there we go, that is my full review of the Druid. I'm unsure whether I will make this my major character when Diablo 4 goes live, simply because the Barbarian, both the Druid and the Barbarian skills weren't available to do because they're in the outer bounds part of the game. The Druid one being over here, and I think the Barbarian one is somewhere over there. The other classes all have their abilities unlocked in Act 1. It's just a shame they chose to put Barbarian and Druid in Act 2/Act 3. It kind of sucks, but they made that decision for whatever reason. They decided to do that. At the moment, for me, the two that are running kind of forefront is either the Druid or probably the Barb. I didn't enjoy the Sork. The Rogue was great, but there was a lot of buttons and the resource management was very harsh. I played 2 Barbs, as you've seen on my character creation list from the other videos. One to power level through to get through, and the other one as a story arc character, and I thoroughly enjoyed both of those runs. But this spell Druid is absolutely phenomenally great. I'm gonna probably min-max it to as far as I can take it, and just spend some time doing dungeons and seeing how much I can explore of the world. I've still got to find the last waypoint. I've got to find the last stronghold. I've got some. I don't know if there's 11 more side quests to do, or that's just a count for the entire area and we can't get to some, but I'm going to do my best to get all these done. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go through every single dungeon as well on this character, all the little side quests. I think there's 4 altars of Lilith in Act 1 as well, so I'll go and hunt those down. That's my plans. I may end up playing a Necromancer on Sunday if I get time. Depends how much I've got left. I know the Necromancer has been covered by other content creators, so I personally won't be putting out a video about the Necro. But if I get time and I get this character min-maxed to a good place, I'll do another showcase on this particular variant near the end of the beta. Hope you're having a great weekend in the open beta. See you all in the next video. Thanks for your time.